Alice, how excited are you for this video?
Fucking hyped.
I like that pause. Fucking hyped.
Put that on a Rascal shirt.
Is that a dare, a suggestion, a request?
All three.
I see you, Alice. I see you, bro.
Camera's right there.
Oh, I don't talk to you?
No.
What's cracking, guys? Omar Yusuf here, back with another video. In this video today, we're talking about the most common topic on this channel, squats. Why? Hell yes, we're making another video because I still don't know how to squat optimally, but I'm learning a thing or two, trying to improve it. I do believe the squat out of the big three lifts is the one that is most customizable for the individual, where the individual plays a huge factor. In this video today, I want to talk about a particular topic, trying to figure out the optimal depth for you. And the key word in that sentence was you, because it depends upon the person. But more than that, it's not static, it's actually dynamic. We can change this over time. I talked before about butt wink, which is that anterior tilt. What happens, the pelvis tilts underneath you, so you start maybe with an anterior tilt or even in a neutral position. But what happens then is that the pelvis rolls underneath you, likely due to either tightness or just going lower than what your body is meant to in a safe way. Remember, genetics are a huge component of this. If we look at the hip structure, hip anatomy, everyone will squat differently, but to a different depth. I do believe pretty much everyone can definitely squat to parallel. Squatting below parallel or even lower, people use that common phrase, how low should you squat? And some elitists will say, ATG all day, bro. Well, if you don't got the mobility, or more importantly, the key word today is control of hip flexion, your hip flexors, your L5 is going to shoot out your back. That's probably why you're dealing with a little bit of back issues. But even more than that, we want strong squats. Forget just trying to be healthy, feeling good, not getting injured. Oh, I know, those sound pretty good to me. Let's squat a lot of weight. So let's talk about what causes, in a way, butt wink. People talk about hamstrings. That's not a big factor. We want to talk about hip flexors and hip flexion. You see, I'm going to give you guys a test as well as, let's say, something to do. So a dynamic movement that you'll do several times per week in order to figure out for you right now how low you should squat, but more importantly, as it improves over time, you could change that squat depth and prevent ever getting the butt wink at that depth, or more importantly, feeling any pain or aggravation. Because before, when I made that video on butt wink, I showed you, all right, this is butt wink, squat to around there, or when you feel a little discomfort. This is going even before that. We're gonna go to the root of the issue, so the lack of control when it comes to hip flexion, what to do about it, how to solve it, and ultimately squat better. Last thing before I give the demonstration, I gotta give the biggest shout out to my man, Dean Somerset, because he actually showed me this in Toronto. He's a rehab movement specialist. He knows a hell of a lot. We filmed it, but the audio just wasn't up to snuff. He showed me this. It had a dramatic improvement on my squat. Knock on wood, I haven't dealt with any issues when it comes to my SI for pretty much a whole year. Things are feeling great, so I thought I'd share this with you guys. Let's get right to it. All right, guys, this is actually really simple because first we're going to do the test to try and determine how much control we have with our hip flexors. You see, all we're going to do is try and analyze how far we can control this guy right here without our lower back becoming involved. What you want to do, find a wall. I'm going to use right here this Dirty Dancing pole. You want to put your glutes up against it, your back against it. Your feet are roughly about 6 inches to a foot away from the wall. From here, you're going to bring your knee up as high as possible, and then we're going to bring it up a little bit higher with our hands. So first, I'll use my right side here. We're going to bring the knee up, so back flat, everything flat. Bring it up as high as possible. Cool, that's what I can achieve. I'm going to see right now if I could bring it up higher with my hands. But after I do this, I'm going to let go with my hands, and I'm going to try and maintain as high as possible this knee. So I'll let go. We're taking a look at the knee relative to the hip. Alice, is this knee higher than the hip?
Yes.
Okay. So this is about, for me right now, I'm not super mobile, I've been traveling, I'm gonna hold this for 15 seconds. This is about how high, using my hip flexors without using my lower back, that lumbar flexion, that butt wink you see, how high I could get my knee, or in other words, my squat depth. This is a good parallel to what my squat depth would be with my hip flexors. This is the control I have. So if we go down here, we'll demonstrate. Alice, just tell me when to stop. It'll be probably somewhere around maybe here. Yeah. Oh, shit. So a little less, right here. This means at this point, you'll probably tend to notice from here, we squat down with the weightlifting shoes. It'll be hard to see, but basically what you'll probably notice is a little bit of a butt wink. It's because I'm losing control with my hip flexors. If you have really good mobility, you could probably bring your knee, if you do this test at home, all the way to your chest, and the angle will be all the way up here. But if you're like me and you're like, oh, I wonder what's going on with my lower back, butt wink, all those things, how low should I squat? You should squat as low as you can bring your knee high in this demonstration. So just film yourself from the side, take a look at the angle, then film your squat, and it should basically be the exact same angle. We could do this one more time to test just to make sure, because maybe the first time you weren't quite aware, maybe your glutes left against the pole or the wall. So do the same thing, we'll use the right side. First, bring the knee up. Then with the hands, bring it to the chest. Now, just trying to use only the hip flexor. Hold it just for about 10 seconds so you got a good visual cue your buddy can see. Maybe you can see in the mirror you're filming. And you say, okay, so it's, it's a little bit, if this was a squat, it's a little bit below parallel, but is that adequate for us? And the answer normally, if you're suffering from this issue, either butt wink or you feel you lose tightness at the bottom, you're not strong from the bottom position, it's probably not good enough. How do we fix this? Here is the big shocker. We're going to do the exact same thing, but several times per side with a little twist. We do this a few times per week, 2 to 3 times per week. We should notice a major improvement. And if you've never felt your hip flexors before at all in the squat, I guarantee this warm-up right here, you'll feel this area start to fire. So let's break down now the drill. Pretty much the exact same thing, except you want to consciously, where you're holding it here, try and bring the knee even higher using only your hip flexors. So we'll do the exact same thing. So start here, go with the right side, knee up, okay, whatever, that's how high we could get it. Bring it up with the hands about 2 inches, and then from here, we're gonna let go, but we're gonna forcibly try and lift the knee as high as possible. So it'll drop naturally, right, because we brought it up. But here, we're fighting just with the hip flexor. If you do it right, already for me, this is a tight area I need to improve. When it comes to control, I don't have that control because the lower back will tend to take over. I feel a burning sensation. Guess what? I don't have adequate control of hip flexion with the hip flexors. That's probably why I deal with some of those issues when it comes to the back. But more importantly, we're leaving pounds off the platform by not being as strong with our squat. So here you're fighting, and you want to try and imagine, relax after 15 seconds, you want to try and imagine, once again, that you're holding, instead of just dynamically, actively pulling up, you want to think you're at this bottom position right here with the squat, where in this position you're holding 300, 400 pounds. Everything has to be stable here. You have to have stability, control with the proper muscles. You don't slump down. You don't lose that tightness. You lose that tightness, that deals with torso rigidity. That's probably why some people, they'll tend to flop forward or their hips shoot back. All those things are interrelated. So if you want a stronger squat, a smoother squat, a better squat, try out this drill. So you do it 3 times. I'll do it one more time because now I've done it 4 times per side. So we'll do with the right side here. Same idea, foot in the middle, glutes touching, back touching. Bring the knee up. Again, kind of around here. I already feel the burn. I'm doing this several times. And then we're going to let go. Forcibly trying to bring it up as high as you possibly can right here, about 15 seconds. Really trying to emphasize that. You should feel, the next day you might feel some major soreness in that hip flexor. Guess what? It's finally doing its job it's supposed to be doing. Bringing it as high as possible, chest up, nice and control. Hold for about 15 seconds. Go back to your squat. I've been doing this now for the last several months. I've had to deal with no SI issues whatsoever when it comes to squat. The bottom position now feels a lot more powerful. Try this out if either A, you just want to improve your squat, B, you want to know your depth, what you could currently achieve in the squat, and C, ultimately work on it and get that better squat. I got to give a huge shout out once again to Dean Somerset for showing this to me. The guy is a wizard. I'm going to link some of his resources in the description. He is a movement specialist, so my hat goes off to him. I think this will definitely help you guys out. If you enjoy the video, if you like the video, make sure to like the damn video. Else, how many likes are we going for?
10,005.
Why is it always 10,000, bro?
Why not?
I don't have a good response for that.
When you do,
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Okay. 10,000 likes, and I'll be seeing all you guys.
10,005.
Oh, sorry, 10,005. I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace. My bad, bro.
Don't disrespect me like that.
Well, Else, this is Thug Else. I'm not used to this Thug Else.
Thank you.
That's what happens when you have 2 Diet Cokes.